And how much nervousness is there in the relationship between the Department of War and Anthropic at the moment? This is a really super fascinating story we were talking about earlier in the show, that basically the Claude tool, they want safeguards against basically mass surveillance, presumably for American populations, and of course having basically kill orders being required to be given by human beings.
Absolutely, and these kill orders have been something that has been getting a lot of attention on social media, on the X platform, for example. They really ramped up last week, actually, with some of these conversations. And I think this comes down to, again, the big question, which is who owns the data and who has access to the data. Data in the wrong hands can obviously be used for bad purposes, like with any technology. So I think the question why, whilst this discussion has led to a delay with the agreement, is around who's going to own the tools, who's going to own the data, and who can use what with that data. And, that's a big question for any of these big tech platforms that we have going forward, I think.
How much of a risk does that pose to the company itself? As you say, there are other AI players out there. If it's not them, will it just be invariably somebody else? Or do they have the kind of power to have that leverage at this point?
I think at this point there are 3 or 4 platforms that had the scale that could be an alternative source. So I think it's not exclusive necessarily to them. So it may well be that the Pentagon chooses one of the other platforms. And of course the Pentagon has had some deep relationships with one of the big tech companies for a number of years. So I don't think it's necessarily an exclusive relationship that will pan out.
Senior strategist Neil Campling, thank you very much indeed.